Yo, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to hard carry games with Arlott. Now, I believe we all already know how strong Arlott can be, but now with the recent change, going back to the assassin meta, Arlott is just shining even more than he was in the tank meta. The reason for this is his insane ability to burst squishy targets. Now, we all know Arlott is one of those heroes that late game, with 3 damage items at the bare minimum, you can quite literally delete half of this game's roster in just 1 or 2 seconds. Now in this video, I'm going to be using a hybrid build as is shown on the screen here, and the reason for this is because the enemy EXP laner was a Helcurt, so he wasn't extremely tanky, and most of their roster in general was all squishy besides Beleric. This will allow me to combo and kill most of their team throughout the entirety of this game. I thought that Arlott would win the level 1 trade versus Helcurt, but I realized that in general he will win the level 2 trades and the level 4 trades. Arlott generally at level 1 is not the best hero in the game, as you need to have his first skill, his second skill, and Petrify to realistically do a decent amount of damage in early game, and you need his ult for that extra stun in your combo to be able to realistically start comboing and bursting people.
Nothing escapes my
Man, if only I had Petrify, this Helcurt was 100% dead. But it's fine because Ballman's rotating up, so hopefully we can kill this Helcurt now. Arlott is one of the few heroes in this game that has insane outplay potential. He's very difficult to gank, especially if he has all of his skills on cooldown. Luckily for me, Petrify came off of cooldown and I got my ult from that minion wave. If Zhu Zhen came to gank earlier before I had my ultimate, maybe the situation would have been slightly different, but overall, we ended up winning that trade. Now, while I was talking, I also high cut the lane, so I know that after Helcurt cleared this lane there were no minions, and when I saw him to rotate, I know the better decision here is to go and rotate to this fight. But after I realized that Helcurt ulted and there was no chance of me being able to do anything, I just decided to go back to my lane. And the reason why I go back to my lane is because if Helcurt happens to die in mid lane, which he just did, we will now be able to profit from getting turret gold and pushing an entire minion wave, which means that now he's going to have a level disadvantage and a bigger gold disadvantage against me, which means that now Helcurt can't 1v1 me at all in the lane. One Petrify combo from him or one stun combo from him, any of this won't be enough to kill me because of my level difference, and I will have more damage as you can see by me having my first item now, my Blade of Hephaestus. Now with my farm gap, all we gotta do is wait for him to show up and now we can successfully start snowballing this game. Since their mage and jungler is dead and their roamer and marksman are on bot lane, I can fully zone Helcurt away from these minions. There's absolutely no chance of him being able to walk up and get his minion earnings now. So let's take advantage of this and make sure that he can't get any farm.
They say I'm the duality of human deity, but
Since Helcurt realized he can't get any farm here, he's probably going to run down to the team fight and brain dead feed. Now, if he does this, it doesn't matter, my job is still the same, push the lane, try to push minions, and now my target changes. From zoning Helcurt, it changes to now zoning Ling. If I can spot this Ling and kill him, we gotta do it. Yeah, I definitely don't think Ling expected me to one-shot him like that. Arlott with a farm gap is absolutely insane. So now let's take advantage of our farm gap and keep snowballing this entire game. And pretty much just like that, this game is over. We got lucky with our team, specifically our jungler winning fights on other lanes. Now the only thing left to do is to actually push. You can have the advantage, 16-4, gold gap, all of these really important things, but if you don't do the main objective, which is pushing, then it's all worthless. Make sure to remember that the EXP laner is the lane cleaner and the lane manager of the team. It's your job to clear lanes and put pressure on sides of the map, all while also being able to rotate and join team fights at the right time. But since our team has such a farm gap, is it really that important that I join these team fights? Well, let's just say it's more fun to join these team fights. Even though I specifically didn't get any kills there, my top lane still got pushed just because I kept pressuring and sending minions there. So let's rinse and repeat this process onto bot lane now instead, since our marksman didn't push the second turret. And even though we don't have this turret now, if I keep clearing mid lane and bot lane, eventually that turret will fall. Remember that EXP lane can also be one of the teammates who provides vision to the rest of your team. I gave vision that Ling's on the buff, and now it's time to invade. Priority, target, Ling. Now, even though I made a massive mistake here, we managed to bait their team enough to get them all to die and get wiped out. How jokes is that? I told you, when you have a farm gap, you can do much riskier things and make much riskier plays. And even though Ling didn't die when we buff invaded, he came back to try and kill me on 1 HP, ran out of energy because he didn't have his blue buff, and ended up dying instead. Remember that your life on EXP lane doesn't matter much in the later stages. Always protect your mage, your jungler, and your marksman first. Those 3 lives are your job, as well as the roamers, to keep them alive and keep them safe. If you die in the process, it doesn't matter as long as some objective is obtained, some team fight is won, etc. Now, since I'm low HP and I'm the wave manager of the team, I'm just gonna reset to try and defend Ling, which Ballman's already doing, but I'm anyways gonna reset because of my HP as well. On the other hand, since Ballman stopped Ling from pushing the lane, let's go and try looking for this Ling, and if we can't find him, no worries, let's try and take the Lord. Now, even though my team's extremely pushed up and is zoning them off very hard, it is still my job to give vision, as we still don't know where Ling is, and I don't even want to take the slight chance or slight risk of Ling coming up and stealing this objective. So that's why you see me walking around and giving as much vision as possible, whereas our Pharamish should have been doing it as well instead of putting out damage onto the Lord. And now that we see Ling is top lane, let's go and stop him from being able to push. Now remember here, my life doesn't matter if we can get an inhibitor turret or something positive, so let's try and force a positive trade for our team. Instead of looking at the tracker in the bottom corner next to my lethal ignition, I thought my eye was just gonna randomly appear. But either or way, our Ballman is so tanky and they chose to focus him instead of the minion, and we were able to end this game. Anyways, I hope you guys take this as a guide on how to play EXP lane, let alone with one of the strongest EXP laners in the meta right now, which is Arlott. With Arlott, you can easily 1v9 games, you can easily hard carry matches even when your team is not the best, just because of his outplay potential. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.